Picture perfect, my life good, it's all worth it. Waking up every morning trying to find my purpose. NFT, non-fungible, I got me. Counting all my tokens, I'ma rip right through this beat. Me, I'm a double G, you ain't seeing me. Playing with these keys, you would think I'm Alicia Keys. Cloud 9, but I'm fly like I'm Jordan. I'm so important, you can't ignore me. Did it about I make your chick dance and kick rocks. I make her laugh a little just like on Chris Rock. We gon' be alright. And we gon' take our time and we gon' do it right. I got time tonight. And she just wanna ride my mic. I'm just tryna rap my show. They be calling my name. And when I'm backstage, they be stuck on my fame. Gotta do what I
Perfect right there, my friends. And I'm going to give some credit where credit's due. Jay Beezy right there on the hook. That is some dope stuff. I want to welcome all my aliens, apes, and zombies. We're going to link in YBZ here with Crypto Novo. And what we have is Laurent Xer Art back on again, welcoming all my aliens, apes, and zombies on this Sunday, beautiful Sunday morning in Chicago here. First of all, let's talk about the music that maybe that you just brought in there from YBZ. And we can see a ton of followers right here. Beautiful music, linking in the cryptocurrency aspects to it. So XR YBZ, man, that's a X, Y, and Z right there if I've ever had one. Let's talk a little bit about the music that we heard in the intro here.
Hi guys, hi Crypto, hi with Arts. Well, YBZ, shout out to my friend, my artist. He's a great rapper from Miami, been working with tons of artists, and he's emerging, and he's been supporting us from day one. He loves Chat Noir, street art, and he was so much influenced by the art that he decided to create a track. This track is going to be supported by a video collaboration with Chat Noir, where that's going to come out 10 days from now, and that it's going to support the whole marketing campaign for the USA. Big thing. It's going to be 100% 3D digital. It's going to be full of arts. It's going to be awesome. And the follow-up to that will be YBZ NFT collection. So we're very excited and we love him. And we're looking forward long-term partnership with this guy.
We're seeing right there him sporting some of your NFT art, and that's why we're here talking about this NFTs. And you're back again with the lovely filter. I'm loving that filter. It's dope. It's getting your NFT name out there. Xer Art, how about you talk a little bit about yourself, intro yourself a little bit for those who aren't familiar with you. I've been able to spend some time with you, but for our friends listening at home and or watching as well, because we got this streaming live, a little bit about your background.
Well, we've been working in a digital frame for 20 years and getting crazy on Web3 for the last 18 months. And basically what brought us there is our love for digital and art. And most of it, the love for our dear friend that joined us today, Chat Noir, the great, the only one, the artist, street art artist for the past 26 years. Beto, Chat Noir, introduce yourself.
Yes, how are you guys?
I'm doing wonderful. Yourself. Thank you for hopping on. This is awesome. An honor to have you.
Thank you for the invitation.
Because,
my pleasure.
I don't know if you can see what's going on behind the screen right here, but I have some street art here done by Maznat Loro in the streets of New York. I'm a big street art fan, artist, and I shouldn't say artist by any means, but a fan of artists. And Gartherly, got me on to, the international love for this street art. So, how about a little bit about yourself internationally? I mean, don't hold yourself back here by any means.
Okay, guys. By the way, Lorenzo, I know him better by Ion, his name of graffiti artist. I've been knowing him from the past 20 years. So it's a big friend. He's part of my crew.
I just found Lorenzo the last 2 years in cryptocurrency, but I times that by 7. So that's only 14 years that I've known him, because cryptocurrency and NFTs go by so fast. But for the better part of 20 plus years, you guys have been in the game. So I've just been a fan of when I drive by, look out the window, pretty much in my mom's car growing up, and seeing that those works of art on the wall, and then now you're starting to see who created them is historical in my sense.
Yes, I think I see many similitudes between what's happening here with the NFT and a lot of creation with exploding right now, and it was the same thing at the beginning of the 2000s. In fact, like in Bogota, there were no graffitis. It was a very small culture. In Bogota, I met like 10 people mostly. In Barcelona, there were thousands of them already, and in France also. And imagine 20 year or 30 years later, it's not hundred, but thousand of hundred people who are doing graffiti right now. So it's a big, everything is expanding, and this is what I like about the NFT project. Also, it's expanding with art, and with your heart also.
And you know, you can see the assimilation here on Exer Art.
Yes,
You know, like the probably the inspiration right behind Cool Cats. You know, like these are like the rookie cards as they call it before what popular is today. You know, and this stuff was out there for years, and it's historically out there, and there's no way to categorize it or archive it, but now there is, because you can take it and add it on chain and through
yes.
photography, which
I think the cat world is something artist has been passing around years after years. I've been inspired by another artist like Crazy Cat, who was in the les années 50, les années 40, les années 30. We can go 100 years ago, and it was still people doing cats. Have you seen the movie about Louis Vane? I was amazed. This cat thing is something universal, and my inspiration was mostly, you can say, Hello Kitty. Without Hello Kitty, without Tom and Jerry, without Felix the Cat, without Garfield and other things like Heathcliff the cat, and many things from the 80s when I was young. Cat was already a big thing. In fact, the only thing is that there was no internet, and cat art was mostly for grandmas and grandpas. So
because you
it's a big revolution also in cats art.
you're a product of your society, so you saw it in
Yes,
the newspapers, you saw it in the clippings. Like you'd look forward to Sunday, like Sunday was your internet when you got the Sunday funnies, and you got to look through the newspaper, and you got to
yes,
see, like you're saying, Heathcliff the cat, or like
yes,
or just kind of like, I mean, think of like how some people don't even know how Hello Kitty started, where it was kind of this like an underground thing where like they were able to
yes,
get a cute looking kitty out there in a certain region, and then it just took off like wildfire. It was almost like a
yes,
trinket that you can only get in that region of the world if you traveled there. And then
yes, exactly.
now you're able to take those things of yourself growing up and then add it to something where you're able to monetize it, and you're able to take street art and get it and get make not only make
Yes.
it for yourself, but make $1 for yourself or some ETH for yourself at the end of the day, because you are in it 20 years deep, 25 years in it deep.
No, that's true. When before there were less big inspiration. For instance, you had the hip hop movies. There were two or three movies you can see on a VHS. The skateboard magazines were very important also for her culture, and I think graffiti was a very good way to mix everything. You can mix hip hop, you can mix skateboard, you can mix punk, you can mix rock, you can mix everything. But I went into it because my friends in the hood were doing it 10 years before I did, because I was waiting for something, and it was the cat. I was waiting, the logo, the apparition of street logo was a revolution for every people who wanted to be in the street, but not obligatory sign your name. It was not about tagging, it was about drawing, and this was very crazy for me. Yeah.
That's what it's all about here. I hear. All right. So Exer Art, talk us a little bit about like what you're sporting right now, the filter that you have on, the connections to street art, and then how the street art is now an NFT.
Well, it's kind of first of all, I have to thank you, Crypto, for this wonderful thing that I'm wearing and I cannot live without now. Now, because
Right.
you have to understand that someone like Chat Noir has been spending his life behind a mask. So this is really deeply what street art is about. Breaking the rules. Trying to go behind what the rules are, working, tagging, and so having an avatar is fairly and deeply linked to what street art should be. I should add also that our love to street art is like a 360 between real life, IRL, and digital. You don't know yet, and you just met Alberto Chanoir, but he's a very, very generous individual. And when he started creating the whole collection by hand, he worked intensely for 7 weeks with the whole team and gave his heart out to create something really definitive for his career. But now that it's out there, what he does toward the community and the collectors is giving back. So right now, I'm very happy to announce that collectors will start receiving on monthly basis real life art depending on the quantity of NFT they collect, which is something I believe has not been done yet. So it will start pouring back the community with real life art, whether you live in Australia, in Japan, in France, or in America. If you're a collector, you will get in touch with his art and he will send you paintings, send you drawings, send you sweatshirts, and that's all the thing we're going to announce along with the digital video we're coming out. So this is going to be
Yes, yes. If I can say, I want to give real paintings. For me, is it's important. I'm going to give like huge amount of paintings, like 10 paintings, and it's a lot of work, and it's real painting. It's like exhibition paintings. For me, it's very, very, very new and very interesting to let people win because they bought one NFT or they got the chance to win like a 20,000 euro canvas. I spent 6 months doing. It's a way to give back, of course, but it's more than that. It's like art sometimes should not be about money, but it should be about sharing also, and it's a way to go. NFT are moving out from galleries, and maybe this community thing, because I'm receiving a lot of caring of from the other people. Maybe I can care for those people who care for me too. And normally I never gave a canvas. My dad is a painter, well-known painter in Colombia, and he told me, he said, the first things if you want to be an artist is never ever give a painting, because if you give a painting, you're not a professional, you're not a professional artist. So I start never giving a drawing, never giving a painting, and for 30 years I make my living with that, and now I'm making it very well, and I'm very happy for that. So maybe it's time to give back for the community who's going to support the new project with the future, with this NFT. Where now that we have made this project, but we need new projects to come up, because when I was doing this 1 year ago, maybe 6 months ago, it was not the same game in NFT game. Now it's moving on. So now I'm learning about this culture. I want to move with that, and I need this support to move, to move on. So the more I give, the more I will receive. And I think this is the new thing about NFT and art. And it was not like that in galleries.
We've seen it
I don't know the clientele. The clientele both can buy 10 canvas. I will never know the guy. Maybe it's not fair.
We've seen it time and time again with CryptoPunks. They essentially gave there's little stuff right behind me right now as we speak.
Yes.
The what they've been doing, CryptoPunks gave away their stuff for free, and it just spreads around the community. You have probably strict followers of yourself that have been in the space that would probably love to have your stuff for free.
Exactly.
A lot of art is hidden on people's walls within their house, and they want to get it out there and they want to show it off. You'll see time and time again them taking pictures and selfies in front of to the moon taggings on the ground that you see in Miami, you see in New York, that you see globally. So you see that stuff being spread out
You,
there.
you see here, for instance, if you stop here, Crypto, the guy that's hanging here is a collector, an NFT collector that traveled from all the way to north of France to Paris to meet with the artist and received this free painting of himself
Yes,
because
it's
the drawing
the portrait of the friend. Yes,
that's a portrait of the now friend NFT collector.
made with him. You know, after talking with him, after knowing the guy, I made the portrait, and I think he was looking well, same energy, same good guy. And that's it. And what I want to add is that I only do like 30 20, 25 painting a year in a year, so they are very rare, and that's why I'm sold out, and that's why people appreciate it, because it's part of my soul, and it's a lot of dedication, and this is what I want to share. I want to share something unique. I want to share something a guy is going to be proud for 20 years and maybe stay in the family. If I could have, like, my dad has a case herring in the room. Because why? Because his girlfriend met his cousin was the bouncer of case herrings. This is good stories. And now whenever I'm in Colombia, I can see the case herring painting, and it's wonderful.
And
And
if I
maybe
can
stay
add
in the
one more
family.
thing, when we start working with Chat Noir and decided after all his work was delivered to decide on the strategy to sell it, he said, if you want to still work with me, you have to work an organic way. I want to keep in touch with the people. Don't bring me 10,000 people from the world that will grab the pieces and sell it back in a minute just to make a few bucks here and there. I do not want that. And so this is why we decided, we're going to go against the wind. We're going to go against the wave. We're not going to do like everyone waiting to just slide everything in a minute and see how it goes. We're going to go gradually and build a strong community. So we take time. It's very hard because everybody comes to you and say, you didn't sell out in 2 minutes. Why? We say, well, you're going to see why. And now we start announcing why. Now, because the people that have started collecting Chat Noir start receiving real life work. And they say, okay, now we know why we've joined this artist and why we've joined Extra Art. So this is our philosophy, and we're going to stick to it.
How about a little bit of alpha up here in June here? I know you got something coming on up in June. How about talk a little bit about on that, because we're going to transition. We got some other great guests on here, especially Dylan from Planet Sly, and then also I want to talk with Hearts next, because there is a photography aspect in all of this, where a lot of the street art is captured through photography. And getting that eyesight from the upper North Midwest here in the States. But I want to talk a little bit about what's happening in June, because people love they get that alpha.
Yeah, well, this is a big alpha.
Talk about it. Sure.
We've been working within ExoArt also as strategy planner for brands and artists. And the one we've been working mostly for the past 9 months, and I can announce it today, is Dior. And Dior will be launching its first NFT collection this summer in June, starting with Sotheby's small collection, then going wild with a collectible collection that's going to match Meta and Instagram move on NFT avatar. They're going to be the first big brand that's going to be advertised by Meta. So this is a huge announcement, and we are very, very proud. It was very tough for us to keep that under the arm. So I don't know what we're talking about, but it's probably going to be one of the biggest collection of this summer. So we're very excited, and you got the alpha on that, Crypto.
This summer, Sotheby's, man, it's going to be awesome. Make sure that we're coming back on and keeping us in the loop, because people want to hear more of that alpha. And there it is, like global as well. That's why we're on this Sunday morning here in Chicago, because if it's 12 hours from now, it's like super early. Like you guys are waking up before the crows out there. So, thanks for being on. With Hearts, any questions right here? Because I know that you, one being a photographer, almost like-minded, where you're able to you're more of outdoors and nature landscape, but I know that you're living in that Seattle range area where graffiti and street art is very common, prolific, and pronounced up there. Any questions for some of the global's best right here that have been doing it for years?
I mean, it's awesome. I've been just looking at all the street art. It's so cool. Like, when did you come up with this character? Like, when was the first idea? Like, what was the first sketch? Like, what year was that?
For me,
Yeah.
yeah, it was in the in 1976, 96, 96, 27 years ago, and it came because I could not sleep, and I had to study for medicine to be a doctor, and I didn't want to be a doctor. I said, well, please find something to do, find something, and I think I pray, and maybe I even sell my soul, that night, but I had a spray can, black spray can, and I went and I spray whatever I can, like incredible 2 hours graffiti, no police, nothing. was I can say today is not possible. What I did at that time, it was very very calm in my neighborhood, and then it started because it's a very well known affiche in France. It's called Le Cabaret du Chat Noir, and it's very very popular from beginning of past century. And I say, wow, Le Chat Noir. It sounds very, mysterious, very Frenchy, very Parisian, very artistic. So the two first year was Le Chat Noir, and then I say, no, what the Chat Noir? I need to be myself, unique. So it's Chat Noir, black cat.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's like such like a catchy, awesome name. Yeah, I love it.
Yes, yeah. It's a between Chanel and something like that. It's very Frenchy, Chat Noir, and it's difficult to pronounce for Latinos and Americanos. Yes.
Yeah, Chat Noir. Chat Noir.
No,
Chat
you say
Noir.
it well.
Yeah.
The R is maybe more Chat Noir.
But that's what it is. It's the historical aspect of it. It's got out there. It's like doodling. It's like sitting there like daydreaming. Like I know
Yes.
how many times I doodled stick figures, nothing even close to this. But getting out there and catching that image with heart. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Bring people into the know of what you've been capturing. With your style of photography and art.
Yeah, sure. So I started mainly as a designer, then it turned into a photographer right around when Instagram started. So it was early on Instagram, like day one, helped build the community with them before I sold to Facebook, of course. But yeah, it was all fun. Just shooting with iPhone, then turned into digital cameras and film, and exploring a bunch of landscapes. And then I got, you know, some brand deals. Started, working with advertising companies like Apple and Lincoln and a bunch of other car brands, doing campaigns for them. And yeah, so I like to focus on minimalism and like just color, bring color into landscapes and moments of try to create peace and joy feelings. But my recent drop I did for my collectors was I airdropped them um, two of one of my photos. So every collector got one. So yeah, that right there, that raised photo was shot for Apple on iPhone, and that went all over for their billboard campaign. So finally, after 5 years or something, I got to be able to use it. But and then so yeah, I airdropped that to collectors and friends as a just momentum of just my history of being a photographer and people supporting me. So yeah, I did that, and then I released another collection on Foundation recently, a couple months ago, and yeah, just been building community and finding like-minded friends and PFP projects, and yeah, it's been fun.
Blazing away here in the space for sure. Like being able to get in the Instagram loop. Heck, but well before me, because I'm very naive into Instagram, but it is a huge space and medium where you can share your craft and your art, and you can see by how many people are following you that, man, you've mastered that. Jeepers, that's crazy, the amount of followers that you've had in there. So what got you into the NFT space? I mean, obviously you're staying two steps ahead, being on Instagram, rather early in the time and space and all this. What is what kind of NFT space is it? Just being around those like-minded individuals up there in the upper Midwest, which is a tech hub? Is it just cryptocurrency? What led into that?
Yeah, I got into crypto like 2013, before like it dropped to nothing. And then so I was kind of familiar a little bit with some tech friends in Silicon Valley, but really what lured me to like the blockchain and putting photography on the blockchain is that it's like a moment in time. Like a photo is a capture of a moment. So putting it on the blockchain really solidifies that it's there permanently, and I can, digitally, you know, have my whole collection of art be on chain on IPFS for eternity. So I loved that aspect of it, and then I had a lot of friends like early into like crypto kitties and a lot of different projects like that. So I kind of like paid attention to it a couple years ago, and then yeah, recently, over this last summer, just really dove deep into all the launch of all these crazy PFP projects. So yeah, it's been fun.
And what I've seen a lot in the space, in the time I've been in the space, and I've been very fortunate to hang around with Justin Aversano,
Yep.
a fellow photographer, and just now that and our mind. At first, I viewed photography on blockchain as something I wasn't interested in, just because I was such a collector, and just a collector of just, for me, it was like toys and comic books. So like when I saw a PFP project, like I wanted to collect the metadata in it. And then realizing really quick, photography is the same thing. It's a collection of sometimes historical reference points. And those historical reference points be street art, which do change throughout time because of buildings getting torn down, because of Mother Nature, because of other artists, tagging on top of it. There's only a way that you can save it, and that is through photography. And now these photographers, through years of their hard work, are able to monetize their work, because sometimes their images, you're one of the fortunate ones where you're able to get them into larger eyes, larger companies' hands. But here's the thing with it: this image, could be used a million billion times. And correct me if I'm wrong, you probably only got paid once or twice for it. Where if now it's on chain and it gets resold and resold and resold,
Yep.
you know, you
Royalties. Yep.
you got
Exactly. Yeah.
it.
Before it was only like you could only sell to, art buys to, companies and license for a certain amount for, certain years and get renewals that way. But really, yeah, stock photos and, people really couldn't collect your own following, couldn't really collect your work online digitally. So this way, my audience can own, a fraction of, for instance, my edition, um, and have that in their wallet and cherish that and or resell it or whatever. But yeah, it's been a really cool way to build community around my photography. Similar to like Justin's twin flame work. He was early on in people's DMs saying, hey, check out my collection. So it's fun and it's a slow build of just building like-minded people and yeah, finding
building
people that really love your work. So
building that community, and getting different collections together here, like the red collection that you have right here.
yeah,
It's just cool that you can do that, and it is a resurgence in a way that you can reach different people on different mediums. And you see it, I see it time and time again, building those networks and those relationships, which leads to a fan base, which you have, very successfully have done time and time again, not only on Instagram, on Twitter here, and then also with, the people that are going to be, coming into, Foundation and OpenSea.
yeah, it's really cool. I got to build my own smart contract with Manifold and launch that edition, and then Foundation. Makes each individual collection its own smart contract. So there's that digital ownership, being able to carry it beyond if a platform succeeds or dies. If OpenSea is broken sea, people can find it on different platforms like LooksRare and other stuff. So yeah.
It's funny you say that. We were just talking about that the other day, because that is, you have to know where you're minting and where you're putting things on, because who controls the button over at OpenSea at the end of the day is a question that a lot of people ask. But you mint it, you get on your own contract, very similar to you did your due diligence. Followed up with Richard over at Manifold, or whoever you talked to over at Manifold, to get it out there out there for yourself is important, because even when you sell it and it is turns into someone else's wallet and they control it, like, is it going to be able to be seen? Is it going to be able to be out there again?
Yeah, for instance, like this is my Instagram page, and I've spent what 10 years on the platform, building up my photography on there, building up my photographers and my following or whatever, and in a blink of an eye they could change the algorithm, and now you're you know silent. You know what I mean? So
Well,
you're beholden to the platform, and whatever Facebook wants to do for their uh, next marketing campaign is push reels or push video. So it's a way that you can now digitally own, kind of like when blogging came around. Everyone had their own website and blog. That digital ownership. So I really love that Web3 is decentralized in that way, where it's giving ownership back to the creators and creatives.
And it's a better way of interacting with people, talking back and forth with people, rather than just unfortunately on Instagram you can like things, interact minimally. You can
Yeah.
do that even more on Twitter, which is growing, but I'm seeing it most in Discords, in the interactive, as you're talking to your fan base, just like we did with Xer Art, just trying to get the street art out there. And then you bringing in the fan base of the people that just love these photography. So product of your environment. I'm seeing a lot of outdoor nature, natural lights in a lot of your photos. Are your photos taken? I know you alluded back to Apple, like with just Apple phones. You use different types of cameras.
Yeah, so I was a pretty
Whatever you
early
use.
on Apple adopter, and then when they released the Shot on iPhone campaign, I was lucky enough to be a part of that. And so yeah, I've been just going out and venturing, and had the phone that was with me, my iPhone, and so I shot a lot of early photos on that, and then shared on Instagram, and then eventually got into digital and film, and shot mainly Leica cameras. So yeah, it's been
And I,
really fun.
and I think that's an important aspect to bring up too. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of people have this technology in their
Yeah.
pockets, and like people might want to bypass that. Oh, I'm a traditional photographer that has a lens that could, whatever, find someone's whisker on their cheek, which is always one thing I never fully understood. And this is my ignorance in the space, is like the people on the sideline of these NFL and NBA games they have these huge lenses. I seem like they're awfully too close for me. I don't want any of them to get run into, but like, man, you have a lens like that, you should be able to get anything from maybe the 5th row or 10th row. I don't know if you need to be standing that close,
Yeah.
but I guess you got to be prepared for all occasions. But the occasions that you're prepared here for is the future, and what you've done with just taking simple technology. I don't want to call it simple, but taking a cell phone, which is a lot simpler for me to than maybe a traditional camera with different apertures and different lenses, and different color settings. But just being able to get out there and enjoy the world and life as it is,
Yeah, I
and
think the iPhone created constraints, and we only way we can become creative is through constraints. Like you're confined to a certain amount of megapixels, you have a certain scene, and what you bring to that image is how you focus the person, the color balance, the sharpness, all those little minute details that capture that decisive moment of nature. That moment will never exist again. Those conditions will never exist again, and you were there to create a feeling and a mood that brings the audience into that that moment. So that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm doing. So thank you.
Bringing it into the moment. There's, check out With Hearts on obviously, but within Twitter, you have the link to Linktree, which has, his NFT collections, his NFT photo editions, his prints, Instagram, withhearts.co, and about himself as well. So thanks for coming on, spreading the love. Love seeing the pictures of did that Mount St. Helens right there in one of those pictures, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's Mount Hood right there. Yeah, the Mount Hood in Oregon. Yeah.
Just love the natural light, love what's being in there. Anything else for the good of the cause that people are looking at right here?
Yeah, you can just check out my work and follow along and interact, and yeah.
There you
Thanks
go.
so much for having me, Crypto Nova. Yeah.
Open to you anytime and always. I want to get Dylan on from Planet Sly NFT here. Dylan, you got sound check your live action. You here, Dylan? Let's see if we can get Dylan's sound on here. Dylan, you got me, my friend? We're going to be talking transitioning. Good friend, and this is a transitional piece right here for Garthily, who is helping out with Extra Art. Had some featured art tagged up on some walls. I think it was like a Christmas present that he got from his wife. And then now transitioning to Garthily also does a lot of chatting on Discord, and part of that Discord is the setup of Planet Sly NFTs Discord. Wondering if any of the two representatives are. Oh, maybe if I help turn it on the on button here. Dylan, can you hear me now? Let's see if we got Dylan in here for sound check. You could hop over to Spaces as well. You could talk through the Spaces mic on regular old Spaces. But Planet Sly, Sylvester Stallone, that's right, the man himself. Boom, right there, the man himself. NFT project, and I know that he has. I'll get Dylan up here. Just invite you to co-host it up here. We'll get his sound going right here, because we want to gain some traction here behind Planet Sly. And as you can see, just the different makeups and beings that he has been through the Judge Dredd years, through all the different Rocky Balboa years. Let's see, requested at his speaker. We're going to bring you up right now. And I was chatting with Garthily when I was out at NFT LA. And Dylan, how are we doing?
How are you?
Oh, I am absolutely beautiful. I'm glad that you guys were able to make it on and talk a little Planet Sly with us and give all of our friends, aliens, apes, and zombies, the rundown of what is happening with this beautiful launch.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and you guys were great, so I appreciate just being here, first of all. Thank you very much.
Always love having any NFT projects out there that are, not only from maybe across the globe, but planetary as well. So talk a little bit about Planet Sly and, just under the 10,000 punches of Ethereum on the blockchain. It's going to punch you right in the face with this NFT project, right?
Right, so it's there's 9,997 characters inspired by Sylvester Stallone's life and career. So Sylvester Stallone is one of the most, I would say, iconic filmographers, producers of all time. He's the only actor to have a #1 film in 6 consecutive decades. So this is Rocky, Judge Dredd, literally just one of the most well-known humans on Earth. So I'm very grateful that I got to partner with Sly for our upcoming project called Planet Sly. And Sly is totally hands-on on the entire project. He approved and okayed every single detail for the upcoming collection. He had an artistic eye and design for the entire collection. So for Sly, I think I think he's 75 right now. For him, this is a really fun and sexy and playful way to kind of reinvent himself, to stay relevant. And I don't know if the people listening here know, but Sly has one of the most coveted signatures in the world. And Stallone is also a very famous painter. So this is kind of bringing it all together. It's I kind of like to say it's 9,997 his kind of digital signatures. So if you look up Stallone artwork, his pieces are literally going hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, he's in very beautiful galleries throughout the world. He just did a pop-up in Germany, and there was literally like thousands of people there to come see him, to greet him, to see his artwork. So yeah, that's a little bit about the drop. I'm just super grateful, super excited. We've just been doing a little bit of stealth marketing, but we should be minting beginning of next month.
You got the Sly list right there, you know, instead of a white list, the Sly list that you can, you know, get yourself in. And I think that's what it is like encapsulating. And this is maybe the point of tonight's show is encapsulating one's long career, you know, and this is, you know, span, you know, decades upon decades where you can, you know, poke a little bit of fun of yourself, you know, have a little bit more of a muscular body physique, you know, but having the minute details of the tattoos that are, you know, true to form to whatever, you know, movie that he was in at that particular time. And, you know, just going back to the community because, you know, people want these pieces. People enjoy it. People have the nostalgia behind it. Remember the movie saw when, remembered, you know, who they are sitting by when these historical movies came out, you know, and even to sit back and laugh at some of the movies of the yesteryears that he was in, and bringing it like full circle is another thing. Is, you know, this is, you know, 9,997 pieces of his past that are culminated into one NFT here.
Exactly.
So I'm looking at access on the website right here. The NFT is like a membership card to exclusive events and experiences, IRL events, and like the ultimate Sylvester Stallone experience, in which a gala dinner hosted by Sly himself. I know he's a busy man right now. He's filming, I believe, I don't want to say Dubai, but I thought it was third world for sure. Maybe not third world. Dubai's not third world, but overseas. I know not in the States from what I've heard. I don't even know if I'm even supposed to disclose that, but, you know, having that access to, you know, featured film artists, it's tough because they are busy people and they have a million other things going on. And he is very career driven in this.
Exactly. So on that note, we're doing a gala dinner. We call it the Ultimate Stallone Experience later this year for NFT holders. It's going to be really, really kind of cool and exciting. You know, we did an event with Sly. You know, we've done almost a dozen events with him where he's done self-help and motivational talks. And there's literally hundreds of, there's thousands of people that show up to come see him talk, but you know, there's dozens of people that have Stallone tattoos, okay, Rocky tattoos. And, you know, his fan base is just totally rabid. And I've learned a lot in this experience too. And part of it is, it's really kind of interesting. We're colliding this Web3 world and Stallone's kind of fan base. So I think if you're a big fan of Stallone, which there's, you know, millions of them, you know, this is your opportunity to potentially meet him in Miami, see him talk at a gala experience in Miami. And we're doing other things like a movie club. So during COVID, Stallone did a live stream of Rocky, where he just talked about, the movie, and like he gave you a little bit of alpha about the movie, right? As you watch it, there were hundreds of thousands of people streaming the movie and watching it with him on his Facebook, which is insane. So if you're an NFT holder, you get to watch movies with him. It gives you a little bit of access to him as well, which is really, really rare for such a iconic Hollywood figure who's mostly enjoys kind of a private life.
And that's what it is having that access. Looking at the team members behind this, a lot of, like, I would say, like, you guys are pretty close to Slides. You just picked up, like, you guys have been around him for years, trying to, are you guys part of the production team with them? What's relationship, with getting this going with the team that you guys have put around this project?
Yes, thanks for asking. He really rarely, partners with anyone. So this was, at least a year in the making. Talking to him, he doesn't put his name on just anything. He talks about it on Instagram all the time. He's super excited. We're gonna have him join the Discord pretty soon. Our team comes from the live events, so we do massive shows, convention centers with 20 to 30,000 people. We have famous speakers come talk about self-help, including Tony Robbins, Pitbull, other famous kind of gurus, and we've been doing that forever. These large events, and Sly constantly draws the biggest audience, which it's definitely not surprising. But I think if you guys saw his crowd and his fan base, you would be totally shocked about how crazy his fans are. So we come from live events. I've been, in crypto since 2014. Tim Draper, who's a big Bitcoin guy, who you guys probably know, invested in my other company, several years ago. So this is our way of kind of colliding live events, talent, and art.
That's awesome. That's one I did notice with the team that was built around it is, a lot of people from, larger venue type spaces, which is just awesome to see support built around it. It's just not, something slapped with, slapped together, it's well thought out of. It's a game plan. Question for you real quick, Dylan, and I see it on a couple pictures, but what Sly guy are you? Which one do you assimilate with most?
Very good question. I like Judge Dredd a lot. Have you guys seen Judge Dredd?
Oh yes, I'm a product of 1980s movies for sure. Anything out that was on a VHS tape was seen by these big shades.
Judge Dredd guy. So what are you? What would you say you
are? I mean, definitely the underdog story, Rocky Balboa. I'm looking at it as a boxing glove, and then it also just has like almost like a battle axe with it. So, it's something for both hands. Be prepared for all occasions.
Right.
Dylan, thanks for coming on. What myself and Arthurly are plotting. There's a way I think I can like hijack a Discord in a good sense where I can get on there and video stream with friends on Discord, so I can have all, thousands and thousands of the Sly Planet on there. So maybe we hop on there and we could find a way we can get Sly on there and restream a stream on Discord onto Spaces video like I'm doing right now. And that's a goal, because I don't think that's been done, and I think that'd be revolutionary, just like you guys are doing in the Spaces today, getting those famed faces out there. And I'm going to try to get that famed face out there and broadcasted on a Discord. Why not, for all the friends and families out there?
Listen, you're a great host, and I think you're preaching to the choir. So we'd love to have you come on to our Discord and, potentially get Stallone on there, talk to some other people, some of our team members and stuff. My DMs are open for anyone who's maybe listening. But yeah, would love to have you be involved in this.
Dylan, thanks for joining on. I greatly appreciate it. Cool stuff, cool people. Planet Sly, planetsly.com. They also have a link tree. If you just go to @PlanetSlyNFT on your Twitter handle. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Any questions from With Hearts, Lawrence, anything else? If not, we might just get you guys on to your Sunday. Sunday here where I'm at. I don't know where everyone is at globally, but maybe get onto these Sundays. Anything for the good of the order, my friends?
No, just thank you for having us, and I appreciate the time and the platform, and yeah, I appreciate just hanging out with all you guys.
You guys are always invited on the show. You can get one of the filters, one of these lovely filters Lawrence got rocking right here. Same with the ones right here. You have a filter like that, you can get on the show whenever you want. That's open access. You're making cool stuff. I try to get you guys in there as much as you want. We have people joining Discords of variant viewpoints. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know I got Hizzy that's listening. Frankie, thank you for listening as well. Slam Dunk, welcome aboard. Thank you as well. Webb as well. Thank you guys all for listening. Lauren, you got any music to maybe take us out with? You can play one of those sick beats that you're going to be dropping here in the May time. I'm going to be clicking through some pictures right here. Special thanks to Gartherly for setting up Planet Sly NFT with me. That's pretty cool. I love that content. But see what's out there, my friends. There's tons of stuff. Hit that music whenever you want. I'm just going to talk until the sun sets over there for you guys across the pond, as they say. Love it, love it, love it. I'll be back on tomorrow for some Monster Monday. Lauren, any tunes for us? You want to roll us out here? Got that click button. Beautiful art again from With Hearts. Stay positive and love life. Yeah, keep playing it. Go for it. Stay positive and love life.
I got time tonight. She just wanna run my, I'm just trying to run my show. Baby calling my name. And when I'm backstage, they be stuck on my fame. Gotta do what I do and like me. I'ma stay fresh like a fresh white tee. You know I come through in a new white Jeep. Shades on my face so you know I can't see. You know I can't see.
I'm loving the cat cam.
I'm from the bottom of the map. I walk it like I talk it and I live how I rap. If you ain't feeling me, you better go and take a nap. Cause I'ma do me and you should fall back. I'm getting to it, ain't nothing to it. Presidents all in my pockets, took off like a rocket. And I don't mean to sound cocky, she just wanna top me. Versace down, I got some chicks standing in the lobby. Yeah, I live for this shit, this lifestyle legit. Wake up, I keep
all right, all my aliens, apes, and zombies. Stay positive and love life.
Show, baby, calling my name.